everybody, it's FREEDO here for Your Overwatch, and today we're going to break down the new character's abilities. Orisa is a badass tank who has a bunch of cool things to her disposal. Here I'm cleaning up play of the game with my ultimate down on the cart, popping my abilities, trying my best to track everything and melt. Orisa, what does she do? Well, similarly to the Team Fortress 2 Heavy, she's a slow-moving tank that's got like a chain gun that can pellet medium-range damage. Now, the thing with her weapon is that it can sustain some firepower towards the thing you're shooting at, but the damage isn't severe, and it has great ranged fall-off and also a pretty big spread. So it isn't really burstable of a type of weapon. It's not very good for that, but it can rain fire down from afar, which is something that tanks typically can't do anyway. So any type of range is pretty good. Now, she can press shift in order to turn into a green mean fighting machine to be able to increase her damage resistance, which is very strong, but I wouldn't say wins her duels outright because, again, her damage isn't that severe. I missed my projected barrier there. I was testing to see how it would work and how far I could throw it. You actually can throw it pretty far, which makes me think that there might be some cheeky plays that you could create to actually be able to throw a projected barrier like onto a ledge, like onto this high ground of big Earls, perhaps, when a team's set up there. Is that viable? I don't know. Maybe. We'll find out. Her right click sends out this green orb that when you right click again, or alternate fire for those of you on different platforms or playing with a different input, it actually creates sort of a mini graviton surge in that you shoot it out into the distance and then you detonate it midair and it pulls things towards it. Now, right now, to be honest, it feels that the radius of it is quite small, actually. So it's felt very difficult for me to hit it in any meaningful way to that where I can pull enemies where I want them. But at the very least, even if it's a weak ability, you have the opportunity to try to, like, pull this Ana off the high ground, right? So I mistimed it there, but if I detonated it midair, I actually could pull her off the high ground, which is amazing, even if you have to aim it directly at the target you're looking at. It's not very strong or forgiving, so you're gonna have to get good with it, but you can definitely see some potential with that ability alone. Now, when you pop the ultimate, it gives a supercharged ability to everything around it. Think about this as Mercy Cadis' staffs, where you're damage amping friendlies, and there I pulled off the Hanzo off the high ground. Feels good, man. And it enables for multiple characters to basically get that damage amp effect, which is a lot of fun. You can pop it down in a team fight and then damage amp everybody, and everyone can go to town. Very good ultimate. I think it feels powerful and really gives that team feel, that big team impact ability that Overwatch is so good for. What do we think this character is good for? Well, I think this was the new main tank style hero that we were kind of looking for, but I'm confused to when you would want to pick her instead of a Reinhardt. I suppose Reinhardt is weaker against Pharah because Pharah can fly around Rein, she can boop him around, whereas Effie's creation here can pick fights when she wants to and isn't beholden to that style of play, and also, of course, can shoot up at Pharah. The projected barrier feels like it's got quite a lot of hit points, perhaps even, I think, likely more than Winston's bubble, because it stays around a lot longer. I don't know when we can get the actual stats of these things, and I think this is very important to figure out how this works out, because also, again, like I said earlier, because it recharges as you place it, you can get it quite regularly, actually, and I was surprised at how often I could get it, because it goes down to that cooldown as soon as you press it, so that by the time it's destroyed, you're going to have it pretty much again, like it's 4 seconds away now, and so you can be spamming these shields, which I think is very important to her playstyle, of course. I gotta say, the most important factor of all is that she is a blast to play. Very fun, feels like a powerful Overwatch character. I feel like I need to be protecting the mean streets of Numbani after a Doomfist attack. This character is a ton of fun to play, and her abilities actually feel similar to many other shooter games, very inspired by not only Team Fortress 2, but her alternate fire feels just like an Unreal Tournament weapon, which did a similar thing, that you could explode it midair. Now, we think about countering Orisa. I think snipers like Hanzo and Widowmaker are going to give her a lot of trouble, really, because they play at a range that's further away from where she wants to be playing, really, and they can get above where that projected barrier can be and just peg headshots into Orisa from afar, whereas like a Reinhardt could just keep that shield up and create an angle of attack that you could always be safe from. The projected barrier is more situational. And also, of course, you only can pick so many tanks, and if you don't have like a Winston or a Diva, and the enemy team has a Widowmaker, it can start to give you some problems. I've even said how that works out when you're playing up against like a Roadhog or a Zarya, these medium-range characters, and Orisa is definitely in that camp of like medium-range tanks that are really buff and stocky and hard to take out, but don't have the mobility to get where they need or the range to be able to deal with a lot of ranged characters like that. One of the biggest problems that I think Orisa will have competing for a tank slot is that I don't know if she does anything way better than any of the other tanks. Her ultimate is strong, but tank ultimates typically close out points easily. And I suppose if the enemy team is splitting up, so you can't graviton them, then dropping down this damage amp ultimate where they're spread out can help you win a bunch of duels with characters that are spread. But it's way too early to tell, new characters out, a lot of interesting thoughts and theory crafting we can do and get into, but right now, I'm just hyped that we have new content, guys. What do you think? I love it when the community gets their head churning about how characters can affect the game, whether it's a patch or even a new character, which we finally have. So let us know in the comment section down below what you think the new hero is capable of and how it's going to affect the game. We'll definitely be doing testing in the PTR to try to feel out what our deeper impression of the character is. But the most important thing I think they nailed, and that's fun. Orisa is definitely fun to play. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button. It really does help us out. Subscribe for more because we upload each and every day, and you're going to want to hit the bell icon to make sure you get notified when our videos go live. Also, link in the description, you can check out our Twitter, our Twitch page, and our Discord server, where you could find teammates that could be the Orisa main of your dreams. That's been it for me. I've been FREEDO for Your Overwatch. I'll see you guys next time.